But sadly, he did get a girlfriend, and then we stopped talking. People change, time changes people, I guess, and so we got really distanced. We actually go to the same college now, and we had English together this past semester, but we didn't really talk to each other. I mean, you know, we asked each other for like homework help or whatever, but besides that, it was nothing else. So it was fine. I was over him like 10th grade because he had a girlfriend, so I was like, oh, fine, okay. You're not serious about this. You're playing me. You're playing me. I mean, you say you like guys, and then you say that you'd go out with me, but you have a girlfriend. You have a new girlfriend. So you have a new girlfriend instead of picking me. Like, how does that work out? I don't understand. I mean, you were single at the time. You didn't have a girlfriend, and I don't even know. But that's that. Oh well, it's history. That's why I'm telling it to y'all. Nothing really happened sophomore year. Junior year, this guy in math, he was a sophomore and I was a junior. So this little sophomore caught my attention when I was a junior, and I remember he added me on MySpace whenever MySpace was cool. And so he added me on MySpace and he was like, hey. And then I was just like, oh, hey, I remember you. You're the guy who tripped over his backpack. Because he tripped over his backpack, obviously. And I remember seeing it. And he was like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm clumsy, or whatever he said. And so, yeah, we started talking. And, you know, we just started talking in class too, and outside of class. And he was a really nice guy, very sweet. He was taller than me, even though I'm only like 5'9", but you know, he was taller than me. And he was really nice, and he had a crush on me, as if you didn't see that coming. And so he had a crush on me, and I guess he fell for me hard. I remember he you know, he used to ask me out on, not really dates, but like ask me to be his boyfriend, and I would just deny him because he just wasn't my type. I'm not saying I'm picky or anything, but he just wasn't. I'm not gonna like point him out because I don't really know how to describe him, which is a good thing. I'm not trying to say that he's indescribable, but you know, there was just something about him that, you know, that wasn't for me. And so I told him, and I remember he kept on trying and trying, but I just kept on denying and denying. And you know, we became really good friends, and until this day we are still good friends. And he's actually, I guess, my only gay friend, like a gay guy friend at least. He's my closest one to this day. And so that didn't work out. That's junior year too, and I was just stressed because it was junior year. I had my SATs to worry about, I had my grades to worry about, because before I knew it, graduation was coming up within a year, and I had to work hard. So I guess I didn't have time for a relationship, and so that didn't really work out. But you know, like I said, we're really good friends. So junior year was the year I finally came out. I think it was in November, so I was like 15, 16, I don't know. And so my grades weren't looking too good, and my parents had a talk with me, and they had the whole, you need to work hard, blah 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 blah, and they were really really mad. And me being me, I hated disappointing them. And since I was the first son, I had to do everything, right. I had to set an expectation for my siblings and whatever. And so my grades weren't looking good. My mom was just really, really mad. And I remember that night, I was crying really hard to them because, my grades weren't looking good. And I was going through that time of depression and whatever, finding myself. And so I kept on crying and crying. They were like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. And then my mom was like, this is not about your grades anymore. You're crying way too hard. There's something else bothering you. And I was just like, it's me. I'm bothering myself, I guess, when you think about it. And eventually, they were like, what are you talking about? There was a little pause. And my mom was like, are you gay? And then I was crying really, really hard. Because when she said that, I felt like they were disappointed in me. I mean, my grades weren't looking good, and I was gay, and that's probably the least of their problems. And so I was just crying really, really hard. And so I was just like, yeah, I am.